We open our season with the AlUla Tour, a sprinter's paradise. Normally gets a really strong field and then some steep finishes for the GC riders. An important race for Jacob AlUla. Last year, Simon Felipe Yates won. Groenewegen comes for the sprints as well. Looks like he's dyed his hair a little bit darker. Christoph here, as well as Merlier and Tom Pidcock. His first race for Q36.5 Pro Cycling Team, and some two really good stages for him coming up, including one this evening, my time in Australia. Stage 1, a sprint from Al Manshia train station. They go out and then come back. We've got a bonus sprint about 10 kilometers from the finish for some bonus seconds for the GC riders. But yeah, really strong sprint field. Decline, Merlier, Groenewegen, Jakobsen, Milano, as well as Christoph for a 2.1 race. That's a strong sprint field. Good weather conditions. The wind didn't really affect the stage today, and we had the breakaway with two riders from the Saudi national team, as well as some of the invitational teams, and Vinokurov the younger. And all the sprint teams with the four big favourites were helping control. DSM for Jakobsen, Tudor for Decline, Quickstep for Tim Merlier, and Jacob AlUla for Dylan Groenewegen. And Merlier has a mechanical, about an hour left, and pretty nonchalant. He stops. They don't do a bike change. They do actually a wheel change. They don't drop anyone back for him, actually, through the convoy. He was about a minute back. They were even putting like a barrage, I thought, in place at this point. Luckily, he was able to get behind the motorbikes, but with the peloton going 50, 55 k's an hour, and it wasn't completely flat, I don't know, I thought they'd drop back Ico Bastians, or maybe he was pacing. But yeah, also getting used to the new Deceuninck Quickstep kits. Jaco AlUla's new man, Alan Hafferley, they got a new kit as well. He has a drop chain, getting used to riding through the peloton. But yeah, getting used to all the quick kits. The Quickstep one looks a bit too blue from the top. It looks like FDJ. I don't know. A lot of blue. Q365, though, they wanted the bonus seconds for Pidcock, who's obviously got a decent sprint on him. But unfortunately for him, he wasn't able to come in the top three positions after the breakaway had been caught. And so then the sprinters teams really took over. Quickstep still on the front. Basically, from 10Ks to 3Ks to go, the four big sprint teams, DSM and co, they just took turns being on the front. But DSM with Degenkolb, they got a strong train here. They're actually the ones that really took control. There's also a U-turn roundabout with a little bit to go just before this crash as well. And we're looking who's involved. Micah. Decline. So one of the big GC contenders, Rafael Micah's out of GC completely. He'd lose 6 minutes. Looked like just a touch of wheels in the middle of the pack. And it's curious, with 4 or 5 riders down, it's actually 3 of the 5 are huge riders for the race. As I said, Micah, but yeah, Christoph as well, one of the top 5 favourites for this sprint, as well as Decline, normally top 3s these sprint. He's so good on these sort of pancake flat sprints. And 2Ks to go. We've got some sweeping corners, and let's look at where everybody is lined up. We've got Van Leeuwenberger a bit deep. They don't have the full train. They work as a small unit. Him and Tim Merlier. Jaco have got Volscheid in front of Groenewegen in the Dutch Natty Champs jersey. Tudor are going to sprint with Zylard because they don't have Decline there anymore. And here we see DSM's complete control. Really, even with a few riders, they were able to control the front of the race pretty well. Like maybe they have Jakobsen in the wind, third position, a little bit too early, but actually they smartly let Leipinch keep the lead out going in front of them through the Flamme Rouge, which extends the time they could be at the front. He's leading out Moschetti for Q365, who's also good on these absolutely flat stages, and it's strung out of those corners. I think Perikas for UAE, he's also got behind it. He'd lose time there. Small climber who probably would top 10 this race, maybe in top 5 this race. He'd lose time. But where's Merlier in the European Champs jersey? We get the camera angle. No heli shots, unfortunately, at 500 meters to go. And we'll see where everybody's lined up. And Merlier, he's perfectly positioned. Fifth wheel. He's on the wheel of Jakobsen. He's got Bert van Leeuwenberger has slid in between Jakobsen and his lead out. And so out of this corner, Van Leeuwenberger is going to absolutely launch it, which is very impressive because I think he brought Merlier up in the wind. And that means that Volscheid and Groenewegen, who are a bit deeper, maybe on the wheel of Merlier, they never get the opportunity to move up. We're at 400 meters to go here, and Van Leeuwenberger sparks it to the right-hand side. And Jaco, and this is something they've done a lot for the last couple of years, they just wait way too long with the lead out, and Groenewegen is way too deep at this moment. They've got maybe 2 riders in front of him, but he ends up still having a lead-out rider trying to launch him, which you see here when the other sprinters are already going. You've got Valscheid in front of Groenewegen on the barriers. He's actually boxing him in, so he can't take the wheel of Moschetti on the left-hand side. Merlier, he did this in UAE last year. He likes to sit on the outside, keeping a wheel open to his left when the sprinters go to the barrier, and then he'll just sprint directly to the other side, knowing that in this field with no Philipsen, no Coy, no Johnny Milan, it really doesn't actually matter if anyone takes his wheel. If he goes at 200 with reasonable legs, he's going to win the stage, and that's exactly what happens, despite Milano being in his pocket the whole time. As soon as he hits the wind, he basically starts going backwards himself as well and has to sit down. So, easy dub for Merlier. Starts off the 2025 season like he, did the whole in 2024, and Micah, unfortunately for him, he looks okay. He's able to finish under his own power, but he's out of GC for UAE. Merlier wins ahead of Milano. Zylardt sprinted for himself. Nice result. Great lead-out man. Then Moschetti, Groenewegen, Valscheid, Pierre Barbier, Brottomesso, Sasha Vimais, and D'Amato. Maybe he's related to Customato, the old coach of Mike Tyson. Here's what Merlier had to say after the stage.
It's always nice to start the season with the win, and today we have that win with the team, so also the first for the team, so it will motivate everybody.
You knew that you were in a similar shape as last year, for instance?
It's always difficult to say, but I have some points that I see what my level is. But in reality, it's something else.
Can you take us through that sprint? Explain how it went with 1 kilometer to go?
It was, like always, quite nervous. It's difficult in the first race from the season to do the things again perfect like last season, but I think we did well. At the last kilometer, with 1.8 to go, I lost Bert a bit, but then in the U-turn I come back in his wheel, and from there on he did again an incredible job. I think he was in the wind for almost 1 kilometer, so perfect job of Bert also.
This race is really suiting you, victorious of 2 stages last year. You win again this year. You're loving AlUla.
Yes, it will say enough. It's the birthday of my son this week, and I'm here, so it will say enough. Let's say enough that I'm here and not at home with my son.
I always love Merlier's interviews. One of my favourite riders, actually. He's such a straight talker. Big uphill finish tonight. We're going to see the shape Pidcock's in. Hope you enjoy the video. I'll see you with a recap of that later. Ciao.